Foremost, we need to let everyone know in the Discord know that we are live. Let's see. Here we go. And we're gonna drop that a few times, try to get people's attention. All right. One of the perks, one of the benefits of being over on our Discord channel. There you go. Let's also get comments pulled up real quick. Gotta have those comments. How's everybody doing tonight? I know it's weird. We're actually doing like a night stream. Here recently, we've been streaming all afternoon hours, so this is a bit different. PJ Sanchez, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the stream. Dina and Craig, hello, everybody. How's everyone doing? Welcome, 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 guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lewis, hello, everyone. Welcome. We are going to get going in just a bit here. You guys know the deal. You guys know the dealio. So today's stream is going to be more or less a motivation type stream. Everybody loves a good motivation stream from time to time. So, been a while since we've met at night, right? It has been. This is a bit different. We've been doing a lot of morning slash afternoon streams, so this is a bit different. I do like to mix it up every now and then, though, just to see new faces due to time zones. Time zones are a weird thing, so. Alright, let's see here. While we're waiting around, go ahead and drop the Discord link. You know that is something we try to do every stream. If you want to join us over on Discord, guys, it's completely free. It's awesome, loving, supportive community over there. All you've got to do is make an account, verify a few things, and you'll be in. Just click that link, and it should step you through it. Completely free. How's everyone doing? D-Nun, what's up, dude? Let's go. Sanchez is here early today. He's on the ball today, man. Hey, it's good to see you, Sanchez. It's good to see you, Craig. PJ, everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As I was saying, this is going to be more or less a motivation type stream. Of course, we will more than likely go over a few particular things, a few specific things, but more or less, this is going to be one of those let's get started, let's get going, what are you waiting for? Stop second guessing yourself, let's get going, it's time to recover, it's time to take your life back, sort of stream. So if you're into that sort of thing, or if you're just feeling really down on your luck and you can't seem to get started, the thoughts in your head are just keeping you down. They're not, they're having such an impact on you to where you can't do the positive behaviors, you can't show your brain that all is well. If that's kind of the situation that you find yourself in at the moment, then this is going to be the stream for you. This is going to be the stream for you. I understand, Craig. It's never easy losing somebody close to you, especially a parent. I understand completely how that feels. Feel those feelings when they do come. Feel those feelings. Feelings demand to be felt, right? We should never run away from our feelings. Which when we fight our feelings or tell ourselves horror stories about our feelings, this is all some form of non-acceptance of our feelings, right? So everybody eventually, no matter what happens in your life, whether you go through some tragedy or whether you go through, just a series of unfortunate events, or maybe your life is generally okay for the most part. Whatever boat you find yourself in, whether your life has been very unfortunate or it doesn't matter the case. At some point, everybody's got to get to the point where they fully embrace and accept their feelings and stop getting so wrapped up in their heads over them, right? Yeah, that's okay, Lewis. There's a lot of people out there that might try to bring you down. There's a lot of people out there that may not believe in this or believe in that, and that's fine. That's fine. We can't force people to grow, right? We can't force people to grow. But here's what we can do. We can get to a point where we don't allow the negativity of other people to impact what we do with our own lives. That's what we can do. We can't change everyone. We can't control everyone. And we sure as shit can't predict the future or try to, stick our hand in the pot and control every little variable, right? And this counts for people especially, other people especially. But what we can do is stick to our own beliefs and recover for ourselves and do what's needed for ourselves, right? So, although it's unfortunate that your friend is stuck in, what I would call a negative mindset. They probably wouldn't agree with calling it a negative mindset. That's fine. Everybody's allowed to have their own perspectives, right? Um, but you don't have to let that weigh on you. So you don't have to let that weigh on you. My thoughts are holding less weight, which is an excellent first sign that you're starting to heal your nerves. And literally just not that long ago, I had a panic attack, which I haven't had for like a year. And I was like, thank you. Now I can retrain my brain. And it passed like 5 minutes. That is awesome, dude. You are right on track. Amazing. What's up, Peter? Welcome, dude. What are thoughts? Why are thoughts so sticky, especially during sleep time? They tend to be so sticky, especially if you're sensitized, right? If you're sensitized, they tend to be like 10 times more sticky than they normally would be. But they tend to be so sticky because they carry so much weight, but you're being bluffed. If you weren't sensitized, they wouldn't carry so much weight. And, due to the fact that they carry so much weight, we accidentally convince ourselves that they're important. Now, that's not to say that you won't have thoughts that, you know, aren't important. Sometimes these thoughts, maybe they are important, but you also have to remember that because you're sensitized, they're going to carry much, 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 much more weight than they normally would. And you also have to remember that because you're sensitized, you're not able to be as your rational self. So, a few things to remember there when you are allowing these thoughts and feelings to be instead of falling for that bluff. All right, guys, let's get going. Wow, that is really dark. Let's lighten that up just a bit. There we go. Let's get going, guys. So the point of today's stream was anxiety recovery. Get started. Now, like I was saying earlier, this is going to be more or less like a motivation type stream because I know how it feels to be in that place where you're like, all these thoughts are crashing down on me and they're so heavy and they come in. Some of them don't even make rational sense. Some of them are trying to play on what ifs. Some of them do make a little bit of sense, but I know I'm being completely irrational towards them, right? So there's a whole spectrum of different thoughts that come and go. Some just completely irrational, some a little bit understandable, but at the same time, you know that you're being completely irrational towards them. And some of them just make no sense whatsoever, but yet they're still triggering you. So, all these thoughts are crashing down on you, all these feelings are crashing down on you, and it's all the result of a tired nervous system, right? And we can prove this because simply you can look back on your past and see that once upon a time you weren't sensitized, once upon a time you could be rational, once upon a time you weren't overreacting to things like you are now. So there's your proof. So for any deniers or for any people that are really lost in the illusion right now, there's the truth. I normally don't recommend thinking back to the past. I normally don't recommend thinking back to the past, but we're going to do that for just a second because I need to give you guys some sort of proof. I need to give you some sort of proof as to why you're being bluffed. So let's look back on our past for just a second and let's answer these questions that I'm about to ask you honestly. So let's think back before we were sensitized, right? Everybody in that mindset, is everybody thinking back to before they were sensitized? Think back to a point in your life where this was not your daily life, right? So is everybody there? Okay. Now I want you to ask yourself the question. Okay, being the person that you used to be, thinking back to your past, did these thoughts carry so much weight in the past, or would they have carried so much weight in the past? Okay, because you may not have experienced them back then, or maybe you did. But even if you didn't, would they have carried so much weight in the past when you were the person that you used to be? The person that you used to be, this is what I want you to think back to. If you had these thoughts back when you were the person that you used to be, back before sensitization, would they have carried so much weight? And I want you to answer that honestly. So if you think about it, and you're very honest with yourself here, you'll realize that you are no longer the person you used to be. Don't worry, we're going to get you back to that. But if you think about it, and if you're honest with yourself, you'll realize that you're not the person you used to be. And this is all the proof you need. You don't need to try to debunk these thoughts. You don't need to try to figure it out past this point. You just need to accept that this is not the person I used to be. I'm obviously under a spell of sensitization. This is not the real me. And I love that saying. I said that a while back, and I continue to say it because it's so true. This is not the real you. These thoughts may sound very convincing. They may be very loud. Same with the feelings. But this is simply, at the end of the day, it's still not the real you. And you can think back on your past and see that for yourself, right? You can think back on your past and see that for yourself. Now, Thinking back on the past may seem like such a distant memory, like you'll never get back there. But this brings me to the main point of today's stream. This is not the real you, so it's time to get started. It's time to get going. You need to understand that each day when you wake up and you choose to give these thoughts way more credit than they deserve, even though I know they're very heavy, you choose to give these thoughts way more credit than they deserve. You choose to use your coping methods. You choose to use your safety seeking behaviors. You choose to not live your life. This is all demonstrating to the brain that there's a problem, right? This is all demonstrating to the brain that there's a problem. But here's the thing, why not get started? Because this is not the real you. This is not the real you. This is not how you used to feel. This is not how you used to handle your thoughts. This is not how you used to handle your feelings. You are under a very strong illusion of sensitization. Now, some people can't even glimpse that in their current stage. And I understand that. Some people can't even glimpse that in your current stage. And if you're one of those people who can't even glimpse that in your current stage, then the point of this stream still remains the same to you too. Get started so that you can start to glimpse that. Get started so that you can start to glimpse that. And as you get these little glimpses of the rational you starting to return, as you get these little glimpses of your thoughts no longer carrying so much weight, as you get these little glimpses of the real you starting to come back out, you'll start to get that confidence rolling. How do you do that? Two main keys. Let the thoughts say what they want to say. Understand you're being bluffed. Let the feelings do what they want to do. Positive, accepting behaviors. Do not fight your thoughts and feelings. Instead, put on a smile, get things done. Show your brain with your behaviors that all is well. This is how you get started. So, really, the point of today's stream is to make you understand that I know in your current state you can't even glimpse who you once was. I know in your current state you feel like there will be no end to these thoughts or feelings. I know in your current state that they sound so convincing. I know in your current state that you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But if you get started and you take that leap of faith, right? And if you're trying to find that motivation, ask yourself, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose to get up tomorrow and try to cut out more coping methods and try to do things that you've stopped doing and try to act and behave positively to show your brain that there is no problem? What do you have to lose? So if you're in that current state where you can't see that light at the end of the tunnel, if you're in that current state where you're just completely convinced that these thoughts are not going to let up and that these feelings are not going to let up, then I have to ask you one question. What is it that you have to lose, right? What is it that you have to lose? What is it that you have to lose to get started? I know you don't want to feel this way. Nobody wants to feel this way, right? But you're here for a reason, and that's to learn about acceptance, and that's to learn to accept your thoughts and feelings. This is ultimately one of the most beautiful and most grand life lessons that you will ever learn. So you need to take advantage of your journey, and you need to prove to your brain with your positive accepting behaviors that this is not the real you, but you are no longer going to fall for this illusion, right? Because the state that you're in, you're not rational. And I get that. You're in a sensitized state. The state that you're in is not the real you. The state that you're in, these thoughts and feelings are carrying so much more weight than they normally would. You are being completely bluffed by an irrational state. And guess what? This is not the real you. This is a fake state. You are under the illusion of this little witch, right? So you need to take pride in knowing that you might be in this state and you're no longer the real you. But you need to take pride and confidence and have a little happiness in knowing that the real you is still there. The real you is not broken. The real you is not gone on vacation and never coming back. The real you is standing right there beside you. Okay? And he is saying to you, or she is saying to you, prove to your brain with your positive accepting behaviors, allowing these thoughts and feelings to be, but understand, keep it with you throughout your day. I'm just being bluffed. Positive accepting behaviors, acceptance, right? Your true self is standing right beside you saying, if you do this, I'm ready to come back. I'm ready to come back. I'm still here. I am ready to come back. And I know you can't see it right now. And some of you might not be able to glimpse it right now. I know I've said that, but it's so true. Some of you can't even begin to wrap your mind around becoming the old you again. But that old you, I guarantee you and I promise you, it's standing right beside of you. They are standing right beside of you, ready to come back when you start to retrain your brain. So the point of today's stream is to get started. You have nothing to lose. and we can look back on our past and we can prove to ourselves that this is not who we really are. Do not fall for this illusion. Do not fall for this bluff. Yes, there's going to be shitty circumstances in your life, but you are overreacting to them. Yes, there's going to be shitty things that happen in your life. Yes, these thoughts that are in your head, might say this or might say that. But all of this that's going on in the body and mind is being completely blown out of proportion by the sensitized state. And this is what you have to understand. Instead of falling for this illusion and falling into the trap, fighting with your thoughts and feelings, you have to take a step back and say, I am under the spell of an illusion right now, and I know the real me, and this is not the real me. I'm going to accept and stop struggling and stop fighting, stop getting myself worked up, right? Sorry, that was really loud. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but I needed to mute that. So, the point of today's stream, guys, you have to get going. You have to get started, and you have no reason not to. The real you is still there. The real you is right beside you, and they're ready to come back out. But it's up to you if you want to get started or not. Nobody can do this for you. Nobody can force you to do it. You have to put all of these illusions and disbeliefs to the side and just get started. And if you're finding if you're finding that you're running into a wall, you have to ask yourself, why am I not doing what I know I need to do? It's because I don't fully believe in it, and that's fine. Here's the thing. You don't have to fully believe in it. And this is a beautiful thing. You don't have to fully believe in retraining your brain in positive accepting behaviors in order to retrain your brain. You don't have to fully believe in it. Does it help to believe in it? It helps, but you don't have to fully believe in it. You can still retrain your brain all the same, right? So, what do you have to lose, chat? It's time to get started. It's time to get going. You're under a spell of an illusion, and instead of taking your thoughts and feelings so seriously, you need to remind yourself every single time you start to take your thoughts and feelings so seriously, I am being bluffed. I might not be able to see that right now, but I know deep down in my heart, even though I don't feel it, I know I'm being bluffed. I know because I know who I used to be, right? So, as you go on about your journey, I want you to hold on to that little piece of truth right there. That even though I can't see it and I can't feel it at the moment, I know in my heart that I'm being bluffed. All right, you guys. So the point of today's stream, anxiety recovery. Get started. What do you have to lose? Let's get going. Right, chat? I know how it feels to be where you are. I know how it feels. I know it's not exactly pleasant. I know it's not the funnest time in the world, but I also know that the real you is still there. The real you is completely safe, and the real you is ready to come back out. All right, guys? So, main point of today's stream, let's get caught up with the chat, see what chat is doing tonight. Make sure I pick the right screen there. There we go. Hello, welcome to the stream. Oh, you had bad food poisoning. Sorry to hear that, Peter. Hope you get well soon. Yeah, she wasn't knocking me down or anything. Yeah, no, I understand. Everybody has their own opinions, right? And I didn't mean to make that come off as she was trying to knock you down, but I was just saying in general, if people do try to knock you down, you got to do this for you, right? You got to do this for you. But hopefully one day she changes her opinion on that, and because we obviously, as your friend and as another human being, we'd like to see her recover too. So hopefully she changes her opinion on that one day. Also, I get flashes of happy memories that make me feel more like me. That is awesome. You're definitely starting to come back to your true self. That is amazing, man. Congrats. Just keep it up. There's no reason to stop now. You might get tested, but just keep it up. God, I miss these streams. Well, we miss seeing you, Peter. Where the thoughts I would have been laughable, now they're so dead serious. Exactly. So you know by that little statement and that little comment right there, you already know that you're being bluffed. Obviously, you're very well aware of it, but that's the thing. Knowing that you're being bluffed is not quite enough. Does it help? Oh, it helps a shit ton. It helps a shit ton, but it doesn't retrain your brain, right? What's going to retrain your brain is knowing that you're being bluffed and using your positive accepting behaviors, right? And some people might say, well, what's a positive accepting behavior? Not fighting with your thoughts and feelings, understand that you're being bluffed, and just live your life to the best of your ability, right? Instead of hunkering down to this thing, instead of cutting out things you enjoy, just acting how you want to feel. I don't really like that term because some people might think, well, that's fake. It's not really fake. You can live independently of your feelings. We don't call that fake, right? But I try to avoid the "act how you want to feel" slogan because some people misinterpret that. It sounds like you're getting there, Lewis. It sounds like you're making great progress. And that's awesome. Keep it up. Very proud of you. Have you ever had any intrusive thoughts, feelings that try to sensitize you even when fully recovered? Well, the thing is, sensitization does not really happen that quickly. Now, I know you can have some days where you feel a bit more fragile than other days, and this is just normal for human beings in general. But when I refer to the sensitized state, I'm referring to that deep sensitized state, right? That some people find themselves in for quite a while. I'm referring to that very deep sensitized state, not just a fragile day. So can a thought just come out and try to sensitize you all of a sudden and then put you in a deep sensitized state? No, no. This needs to be a continuous and ongoing fight with your thoughts and feelings, a continuous, ongoing bad, negative behaviors that show the brain you're in danger. This needs to be a continuous thing in order to get into that deep sensitized state, which is completely different than having just a fragile day, right? So yeah, it wouldn't happen like that. The more energy charge will be. Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, I wouldn't say that a thought can just come out of nowhere and put you in the sensitized state. It doesn't really work like that. This is, I'm referring to the deep sensitized state. You can have days where you're more fragile than others, but in order to get into that deep sensitized state, it needs to be an ongoing strain and stress on the nervous system, right? And for people that are overthinkers and for people that give into this and do it to themselves 24/7, unfortunately, that's why we've ended up in the state that we're in. But like myself and many others, you can come out of that state, right? You absolutely can. Just gotta prove it to the brain. Prove to the brain there's no tiger. Just gotta prove it to the brain. All right, guys, I'm gonna go try to sleep. Much love, y'all. Much love, Peter. You're a blessing. I appreciate that, LC. I appreciate it. I'm just trying to spread the good word, what I know about the brain, right? Everybody eventually, at some point in their lives, whether they are fully sensitized or not, should learn and will more than likely be forced to learn about acceptance, right? Because let's face it, you can only live like this for so long before you're like, hey, I need to learn the skills to get out of this. I need to do something about this. So and some people reach that point without ever picking up a Dr. Claire Weekes book because they have nowhere else to turn. Eventually, they just have to use acceptance, and that's why some people can come out of a sensitized state without even knowing about acceptance. Unfortunately, a lot of the times they end back up in one because they pick up the bad habits again. They didn't really understand what was going on, right? But yeah, eventually everyone has to come to the point of acceptance. Eventually. And sometimes that takes a lot, and that's okay. Sometimes that takes a big life, changing event, such as having to go through sensitization or whatever the case may be. Whatever the case may be, whatever it takes. Got health anxiety all of a sudden, it really sucks. So just like any other kind of anxiety, right? It's all the same cycle, it's all the same boat. Hey, wonder, would you be sensitized again in the future? Can you reword that? Did you mean could I be? Of course I could be. If you can sensitize yourself, you can desensitize yourself, and if you can desensitize yourself, you can sensitize yourself. But here's the thing, not going to happen if you don't pick up those bad habits, right? And now that you know what you know, of course you're not going to go full force like you once did with your bad habits. You might have a bad habit or two left over, but you're not going to go full force with them and put yourself in that situation again. Well, we're not trying to villainize the mind, Raw. We're not trying to villainize the mind. We're not trying to say it's a bad thing. You can be disidentified with the mind and still use it, right? Still have fun with it. Yeah, exactly, Lewis. That's a big one. That is a big one. It sounds like you're definitely on the right track. Sounds like you're definitely on the right track. It's all about it's all about shifting that perspective from total victim to the state that you're in, as Dr. Claire Weeks would call second fear. Shifting that perspective from total victim to understanding what's going on, understanding that when these thoughts and feelings want your attention, reminding yourself that you're being bluffed, right? It's a rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole that's easy to fall down. Improving mood during the sensitized state, do things that you enjoy, right? Which is kind of like the catch here, because we don't want to do things we enjoy when we feel like shit. But if we feel like shit, doing things that we enjoy is going to help. However, most people wait around to feel better before they do the positive, accepting things that they enjoy, right? Unfortunately, it doesn't work this way because feelings follow action and not the way or other way around. So people wait around for a long time to feel like doing the things they enjoy before they do the things they enjoy, and that moment rarely ever happens. It rarely ever comes, right? I'll react for like a quick second, accept, and then proceed as normal. Awesome. Definitely sounds like you're on the right track. Can exercise help change your brain? I don't look much into exercise. I don't know. I'm a fat shit, so I don't really know about that one. I'm sure it can. You won't catch me exercising anytime soon. Yeah, learning how to accept, Madison, learning how to face these thoughts and feelings. Learning how to face these thoughts and feelings and calm your nervous system by not reacting. Been feeling much better past 3 months. Less anxiety. I go places. Less driving anxiety and all because of you, Wonder Bro. Wonder Bro's advice. Hey man, I appreciate that. That is awesome. Yes, just learning to do the opposite of what I want. Yeah, learning to do the opposite of these safety-seeking behaviors that are keeping your brain uh, under this illusion that you're in some sort of danger or under some sort of threat. Oh yeah, there's no doubt that exercise might help, right? But these are just like, this is just like icing on the cake. It's not going to be like a cure-all, but it definitely is like icing on the cake. How did you support yourself financially when you were, in your own words, pissing in bottles? I didn't. I didn't support myself financially. I had to depend on others to feed me. And the thing about that is, if you're not in the position where you can get the support of others, then you'll be forced to kind of, still work or whatever, which is not a bad thing. If I would have got my ass out of bed and started doing fucking positive accepting behaviors, I would have made a lot more progress. Except I didn't know about acceptance, right? Sally, thank you so much for the $5 tip. I truly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Sally, for the $5. Yeah, so that's the thing, Nico. I didn't support myself. I had to rely on other people to feed me. But the thing is, if I was in a situation where I had to support myself, I would have had no choice but to get out of bed and continue working and blah, 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 blah. But that wouldn't have been a bad thing because that would have been positive accepting behaviors in one way or another, right? So if I would have known that, I probably would have got my ass out of bed. If I would have knew what I know now about acceptance and positive accepting behaviors and proving to the brain that you're not in any real danger, I wouldn't have been in bed pissing in bottles. So to say, well, it sucks if someone has to continue doing this, continue doing that, even if they don't feel like it. No, it doesn't suck because that's what's going to get them there. Those positive accepting behaviors is what's going to get them there, right? But then again, I didn't even really have to rely on other people to feed me either because I didn't eat. I didn't eat very much. I lost a lot of weight. Yeah, definitely, Madison. Definitely. Exactly, Lewis. Great way to put it. See, that's the thing, when my anxiety journey started early on, I wouldn't have quit half the things that I quit doing if I knew any better. I didn't. I didn't know any better, and I had the opportunity to quit half the things that I was doing. So I did it. But, if I would have known any better, I wouldn't have made the choices that I made to quit doing what I was doing. I just had no clue what was going on. So, for people who don't have the opportunity to quit what they're doing and they have to continue doing what they're doing, that's not exactly a bad thing, right? Because in order to recover, eventually you're going to have to get to the point where you have these positive accepting behaviors and do get on with your life regardless. So, if you're forced to get on with your life regardless, that's not exactly a bad thing. Because I would have made much more progress in my journey early on if I knew all this and wouldn't have quit the things that I quit doing, like working, for example. What's up, Jesse? How you doing? Do I ever get bored of the anxiety topic? Not if it's helping people. I mean, if I was just sitting in a corner somewhere talking to myself about it, yeah, I probably wouldn't do that. But if it's helping people, it's helping people, right? A lot of positive comments in tonight's chat. I love to see it. Love, love, love to see it. That's awesome. Sometimes I feel really grateful for my anxiety. It started off terrible, but it helped me strengthen my mind and helped me work on not fearing things so easily. That's awesome. Yeah. Like I always say, this journey is worth it. This journey is worth it. I try to make that a point well known. But, Jesse, that's the thing too. I mean, outside of the streams, you know, um I am on the Facebook page, the Discord, stuff like that. But I do things in my own time too. So for most people, they only see me when I'm on the streams or when I pop in the Discord from time to time. But so it's like they must think, oh, this guy just talks about anxiety 24/7. But don't worry, I do other things with my time as well. It's really a personal choice, Madison. Each day is a new day. Each day is a new day. Dedication is key. Consistency is key. So as you start to learn to accept your panic feelings, your thoughts and your feelings, this should make it easier for you to go on to bigger things. So, I mean, if you want to do it gradually, you can. It's really up to you. As long as you're living by those two main keys and starting to retrain that brain, it's all good. I know it's easy though. I know it's extremely easy to get into the specifics and be like overcomplicating everything. Should I do this today? Should I tackle this tomorrow? Understand that each day is its own, and as long as we're taking each day to rewire our brains, we're gonna get there in the end, right? I know it's extremely easy to overcomplicate it, but this is just more stress, right? What's up, Blake? How you doing? That's awesome to hear, Blake. Congrats. One day at a time, yes. One day at a time. Just remembering that you're under a spell of illusion, under a spell of a bluff. When these thoughts are attacking you, when these feelings are attacking you, remember you are under the spell of a bluff. You are under the spell of a bluff. Don't go diving deep, chat. Don't go digging deep into all the little details. Going deep with your mind's not going to get you anywhere. Just simply remember, this is not the real me. Ride the wave, ride the wave, ride the wave. Don't go adding extra strain and stress by using these negative behaviors and diving deep with these thoughts. You don't have to do that. I know they seem so real, but you got to hang on to the truth when these waves come. That this is not the real me. I can't even glimpse it right now, but this is not the real me. Ride the waves. The real me will be here soon. The real me will be here soon. This is what you got to hang on to instead of diving deep and adding so much extra strain and stress. This is what you gotta hang on to, chat. Gotta hang on to that, man. And that's the problem with the sensitized state. These feelings and thoughts feel so bad, so we take them so seriously and we start to dive deep. We start to dig deep. What does it mean? What does it mean? Let me figure this out. Let me figure these thoughts out and fight with them. Let me make them go away. Let me save myself. Let me save myself. I know this is the natural human tendency, but understand diving deep is the stress. Diving deep is the strain. Diving deep is the reason your real self can't come out because you're keeping the nervous system tired. So we're going against that human tendency, that bad habit to want to dive deep with it all. But the more we dive deep with it all, the more the real self has to take a back seat because you're keeping the nervous system in the same state. So stop diving deep with it. Stop diving deep with it. Wonder Bros, will your anxiety come back, or is it gone after you recover? That's it's up to you. It's up to you, man. Like I said, if you can desensitize yourself, you can sensitize yourself. If you can sensitize yourself, you can desensitize yourself. But here's the thing, Brady. I know for a fact that you're not going to go back to your old bad habits. Nobody really finds themselves back in the same as low as they once was. It's really, really freaking difficult to go full force like you once did with the bad habits and the fighting and get yourself back to the way you once was. Is it possible? Sure, okay. But is it going to happen? No. You know better. You know better. You're not going to do that to yourself. That's what it would take. Nothing's doing this to you. There's no monster that's going to come back and say, today I want to resensitize Brady. No, this is up to you, man. You have that control. You do by not taking these thoughts and feelings so seriously, riding the waves instead of digging deep, and simply reminding yourself that I'm being bluffed, and it's up to me if I want to dig deep and do this to myself or not. But as the other Blake said, yes, anxiety is a very natural human emotion, but there's a difference between the natural human emotion of nervousness and anxiety and the sensitized state. Will you end back up in the sensitized state? No, not unless you want to. Right? So, Brady, you have nothing to worry about, dude. You're good. I know better. I know you're not going to pick up all these bad habits. Why would you? Why would you do that? I know you're not going to do that. You got this, bro. Stop worrying about it. You got this, bro. Stop worrying about it. Exactly, Lewis. I know it can feel so real and you just want to dive deep, but this diving deep with your thoughts and feelings is just the strain that is needed to keep your nervous system tired. There's nothing to dive deep about. You're just being bluffed by not the real you. You're being bluffed by the fake state. Stop trying to dive deep. I know you can't be rational right now, but just remember you're being bluffed and stop trying to dive deep. I know it's not the funnest thing in the world either, and that's an understatement. I get it. But at the same time, it doesn't take away from the fact that you are indeed being bluffed by not the real you, by the fake state. This is the truth that you must hold on to instead of trying to dive so deep with your thoughts and feelings. This is the truth you need to hold on to in those moments where you just want to dive so deep with your thoughts and feelings. Runner Bro, just wanted to let you know I love what you do, man. Hey, thank you for watching. I love you for watching and supporting. I appreciate it. You gotta hold on to that fact, chat. You gotta hold on while you ride these waves. You gotta hold on to that fact that you're being bluffed. And even if you can't comprehend that you're being bluffed, because there's moments where you won't be able to comprehend that you're being bluffed, you still gotta hold on to that. You still got to hold on to that fact, because even though you can't comprehend it right now, somewhere deep down in your heart, you know it to be true. And even if you can't comprehend it right now, it's the truth, regardless, whether you can comprehend it or not. So you got to hold on to it while you ride these waves and stop digging so deep with your thoughts and feelings, right? You're all going to return to your old self, believe me. You're all going to return to your old selves. You're looking too much into it. And I know it feels right to look into it. I know it does, but that's what's keeping you there. That's what's keeping you there. You got to understand that. The more you try to look into it, the more you're telling your brain there's a problem, so the more you stay here. And that's the trap. That is the anxiety trap, guys. That is the anxiety trap. Yeah, there's no comparison between normal anxiety and the sensitized state. Stop worrying about normal anxiety. Normal anxiety you'll be able to brush off like no problem. The sensitized state is a bit different. Not many people experience the sensitized state. I know it seems like a lot of people do. I'm not saying it's a rare thing. It does happen. But you got to understand there's a huge difference between normal anxiety and the sensitized state. I know it's so tempting to dive deep into this, guys, but that's the reason you stay where you are. The diving deep is the strain that's needed to keep the nervous system tired. So, Brady, understand there's a difference between the anxiety, normal anxiety, and the sensitized state. Normal anxiety is child's play, right? So don't worry about it. You're not gonna resensitize yourself. You know too much now to do that. You're good, man. That's the whole point. You got to stop diving deep with these thoughts and feelings, dude. They're meaningless. And then some people might say, yeah, well, it's about real stuff. They're still meaningless because you're being bluffed. You're not being rational right now. And everybody at some point in their life who's ever dealt with a sensitized state has to reach this realization, whether it has to be in a direct way and they have to suffer because of it, or they catch on quick. It doesn't matter. Eventually, you got to come to this realization, and you will. You will if you deal with this thing long enough. You will. You'll get to the point where enough's enough. Trust me. Yes, Madison is very smart. Do I ever experience symptoms of anxiety still? Again, that's what we're kind of talking about here. The whole normal anxiety. What is normal anxiety? A sense of nervousness, maybe? Right? A sense of nervousness, maybe? But this is no different, okay? This is this is no different than what every other natural human being on planet Earth faces from time to time. It's not a problem. It's like a mosquito bite, right? So do I still feel feelings of nervousness from time to time? Maybe. Yeah, sure. But anxiety, when in a healthy amount, is not a problem. It only becomes a problem when we start to put ourselves in the sensitized state by digging too deep with these thoughts and feelings, and then we get ourselves way too worked up, and now we feel, for lack of better words, quite miserable, right? That's when it becomes a problem. But you'll never find a human being on the face of the earth who's not felt anxiety, and that's not an issue. It only becomes an issue in some cases for some people when they start to dig too deep into these thoughts and feelings, right? And then they eventually sensitize their nervous system. That's when it becomes an issue, and that's why we're all here now, right? Because in our cases, we did that to ourselves. Oh, I don't really get body twitches or body aches. I don't get any of the strong symptoms of like the sensitized state, right? When I say quote unquote normal levels of anxiety, I literally just mean normal levels of anxiety, like anybody else would experience. But from what I've learned with the two main keys and from what I've learned with leaving my thoughts and feelings alone, I don't even experience much anxiety today compared to when I did before I became sensitized. And that's why I always say from time to time, this stuff is good for sensitized people or desensitized people. It doesn't really matter. This is good life stuff, right? This is good life stuff. That's the thing. So, do I still experience feelings of anxiety? Sure, we all do. But am I sensitized? No. And even after you desensitize, you will still feel feelings of nervousness and anxiety from time to time. But it's no big deal. It's like a mosquito bite. It's not a problem. Does everybody get what I'm trying to say here? This is a normal human emotion and feeling that you feel in certain situations. It only becomes a problem when we end up at sensitized boat. How do you get desensitized? By stop diving deep with your thoughts and feelings. Just remind yourself when you want to overthink your thoughts and feelings, I'm just being bluffed. It's not the real me. Get on with your day, live your life. Right there. If that's the only thing you ever got from my stream, then that's all you ever need. Just remind yourself when your thoughts and feelings come, I'm being bluffed, it's not the real me, and then just keep living your life and doing things that you enjoy, and there you go, you'll heal. If that's the only thing you ever take from my stream, then there you go. You're not wrong, Lewis. You're definitely not wrong there. That's a good comparison, Blake. I like that. What's up, Craig? Welcome back. Can you get it in a cycle of sensitization? I was sensitized 3 times before I learned about acceptance. But the only person that can sensitize you is you. So that's where you got to take responsibility. If you leave your thoughts and feelings alone and just remind yourself that it's not the real you and then just live your life to the best of your ability, you will heal because you're demonstrating to the brain that there's no real threat. So don't think, oh God, will sensitization come back? There's no such thing as sensitization that's lurking around the corner ready to get you like a monster under the bed. You're responsible for that. And we have to take responsibility for that, right? I ended up sensitized because I didn't know any better, and I know you guys didn't know any better either, but I'm saying we ended up sensitized because we didn't know any better, but we did it to ourselves nonetheless, right? We did it to ourselves nonetheless. So it's, if you want to heal, if you want to take the strain off your nervous system, if you want to prove to your brain and demonstrate to your brain that there's no real threat, you have to stop diving deep with your thoughts and feelings. Simply remind yourself that this will pass, this is not the real you, and then live your life. And then you'll demonstrate to the brain that you're not in any real danger, right? What's up, Jasmine? I haven't seen you in forever. How you doing? Hope you're doing good. See you, Blake. I appreciate you watching, dude. That's awesome, Abel. Like I said, it's always up to the person whether they want to go that route, and I'm going to support you either way. Good, love you. Love you, Jasmine. No problem, Art. We've had a bunch of people in here tonight talk about their success. It has been a positive stream, dude. What is that, like 4 people already just in one stream saying that they're themselves again? That's awesome. Proud of you guys. And if you're not quite there, don't worry, you'll get there. Just remind yourself. Don't dive deep with your thoughts and feelings. It's not the real you. Don't add extra strain to the nervous system, and just live your life. And you will heal. Drinking plenty of water, yes. I'm a water drinker, so I do drink quite a bit of water throughout the day. I try to, anyway. What do they say the recommended amount is? Like, I'm not even sure. 3 to 5 bottles per day. That sounds about right. I think it's like 7 cups or something. 7, 8 cups. I'm not sure. You'll have to Google it. I don't recommend Google most of the time. Don't worry, pretty. You'll get there. Do not worry. I was once saying the same things as you. I was once in the same position as you. I was once saying the same exact things as you. I know you can't glimpse it right now, but continue practicing reminding yourself that your thoughts and feelings, that's not the real you. You're under the illusion of sensitization, and just live your life. Demonstrate to the brain that there's no real threat, right? Glad you're making so much problem, Give. That's awesome, dude. I drink a gallon a day. I don't know what the recommended amount of water is, so I'm pretty sure it's a half gallon, but hey, you guys will have to figure that out for yourselves. Like I said, I normally don't recommend Google, but here's your free pass on that. I know it's hard to comprehend. You can't even glimpse it, but you have to remind yourself when these thoughts and feelings come, this is not the real me. Even though I can't comprehend it in the moment, I'm still going to hold on to that truth and just live my life and demonstrate to my brain that there's no real problem, and then the real me will come back out. What is it, like 4 or 5 people just in tonight's chat alone that says they've been doing exactly that and they feel like themselves again? That's awesome. I mean, you can't dispute that. The people have spoken. The people have spoken. The people of Rome have spoken. Now, what are you waiting for? No plans of starting a podcast, bro. I mean, it's always on my mind here and there, right? It's something I'd like to venture into at some point. We'll see what happens. 2 liters for women, 2.5 liters for men. I mean, a lot. You'd be surprised how many people don't drink water, but I do try to drink water. I do try to. I drink like 2 liter bottle a day. So what I do is I empty out a 2 liter bottle of soda when I'm done with it, and then I carry it around until it basically disintegrates, and I use it as my water jug. Let's see. Recommended amount of water for adult male. Cups. Let's do it by the cups. Actually, let's not do it by the cups. Probably easier not to do it by the cup. Or let's just do 2 liter of water a day. About 2 liters, so 8 ounce glasses, about 2 liters, or half a gallon a day. Right. So something like that. How tall am I? I'm not sure exactly, but it's around 6'2", 6'3", something like that. I don't know. I've not actually checked in quite some time. I've not actually been measured in quite some time. So last I checked, I believe it was around 6'3". That's been quite so many years ago. But I'm pretty sure I'm done growing, so I would assume that's still about accurate. Yeah, I mean, not eating and drinking like at all, of course, is just gonna make, you feel more like crap, obviously, which is a mistake that I made in my journey. I quit drinking, I quit eating. Of course, I would eat enough to, stay alive, obviously. But it wasn't very much, and it probably didn't help matters. It probably didn't help matters. Well, here's the thing about other YouTubers. I don't really talk smack on other YouTubers. I never call anyone out specifically because there's no need for that. Um, you know, So I let people do their own thing. I let people do their own thing. It's none of my business. It's none of my business or concern what other people do, right? I'm just here doing my own thing. They're doing their own thing, and everyone can kind of form their own opinions. But I really do my best to just not talk about other YouTubers. I just do my best to not talk about other YouTubers. I mean, at some points I may have said something along the lines of, "Oh, that's too expensive," or may have said, little remarks like that. But I don't go out of my way to talk smack on other YouTubers because I don't know them. I don't know them personally. I don't know anything about them. I'm sure they're good people, but I will never know because I don't know them. So I just do my own thing, and they're free to do their own thing. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't wish anything but success for other people. I mean, personally, me, I'm not going to try to make a program or try to charge for it or whatever, but that's me. Like, if somebody else wants to do that, that's, their choice. That's their choice. But here's the thing, sometimes people just don't have that kind of money. So I would like to be here as an alternative if they don't have that kind of money. I'm perfectly happy with my tips. You guys support me. That's enough for me. So what anybody else wants to do with their content is up to them. It's not my content. I'm not going to shame them for it. In my personal opinion, it might be too much money to charge people, but that's not my choice to make. Do you plan on quitting smoking? I'd like to eventually, but you have to want it, right? You have to really want it. I've cut back a lot, but yeah, I definitely haven't quit. You guys crack me up. Wonder Bro for president. I don't know about all that, Jesse. Yeah, no offense, chat. No offense, chat. I don't know. I don't really talk about other YouTubers. Drama's not my thing. I mean, I can't control what you guys say, but I probably won't comment on it. I'll pay for your one-on-one sessions. I never feel forced when I tip you. Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of coaching these days, but I mean, as far as the tips go, um, how many times have you guys ever heard me say, "Well, damn, we need more tips"? you know, how many times have you guys ever heard me say, "Come on, guys, why is nobody tipping?" Never. I don't do that sort of thing. I know that you guys support me. I know that you guys tip me when you can. I'm not going to pressure it. I'm not going to act like it's the end of the world. Just let that shit happen naturally, man. Let it happen naturally. Oh, I'm trying to get that yawn. You guys ever been in that position where you need to yawn, you can't? Oh, it's annoying. Oh, same old Lewis. Yeah, that goes for everything in life, right? Give. Try to force anything. Whew, I can't get that full yawn, man. I'm trying. I've thought about merch, but I need to get the copyright for the name. Or when you can't sneeze, yeah, either is pretty annoying. Acceptance. Ugh. It usually stems from different sources for most people, right? It usually stems from different sources for most people, like where the fear train all begins. That's why I say for a lot of people it's very personal, their own personal journey. Same boat, but like a personal journey, you know? Well, there's nothing wrong with trying to be a more positive person, right, Madison? But the thing is, if you're in a sensitized place and you've already hashed and rehashed these same thoughts a million freaking times, obviously you're wasting your time. And that's why one of my two main keys is understand that you're being irrational and being bluffed by not the real you, right? And to eventually get to the point where you know you're being bluffed and being irrational, and there's no more hashing or rehashing that you can possibly do with these thoughts. You've already done it a million times, but yet you're still triggered. So obviously retraining needs to be done. So that's why one of the two main keys is, you got to get to the point where eventually you just leave these thoughts alone. You realize that you're being bluffed and heal your nervous system by not diving so deep, demonstrating to the brain by not diving so deep with these thoughts and feelings and just living your life that there is no real threat. So while I agree with you that it can be helpful at times to thought flip, which I've said in the past, if you're going to go the thought flipping route, you need to do it very quickly. Don't spend so much time obsessing. But at some point you might realize that even with trying to flip your thoughts, that this is just an unnecessary stressful battle because you're not getting anywhere. So if you can flip your thoughts and that works, great. Make it quick. Don't spend too much time obsessing. But for most people, you'll come to the conclusion that no matter how much you flip your thoughts, it's not making any difference. So once you hit that wall, you need to realize that you've just got a brain that needs to be retrained and that it's not the real you. Which one should I start off with? Probably, I don't know, probably Hope and Help. Oh, there we go. There we go, baby. There's that yawn. But really, they're all more or less rooted in the same advice, so. So yeah, don't get me wrong, Chad. If you've got a sticky thought that you can come to an agreement on, and whatever, fine. But if you've fought with your thoughts for so long and you're not getting any relief, obviously you've hit a wall. That's not going to work. You've just got a brain that you need to retrain, which is the case for most people. And that's why I say just understand you're being bluffed and not the rational you. And that's why no matter what you do with your thoughts, it doesn't seem to matter because you got a brain that needs to be retrained, right? So just stop diving deep with them. Stop diving deep with your thoughts and feelings. Just hold on to the truth while you ride those waves that this is not the real you, that the real you will return soon. If you stop taxing the nervous system, just live your life. Stop diving deep with the thoughts and feelings, right? The audiobook app, yeah. Yeah, I don't own any physical copies. It's all on the audiobook app. That's why I say sometimes it's really hard to introduce logic to a sensitized body and mind. So if you're trying to introduce logic and it's not working out for you, which is the case for most people, then it's time to just retrain your brain and understand that you're being bluffed, right? And that's the realization that I eventually had to make because I'd be like, damn, dude, how much more do you want? I flipped all these thoughts. I've thought of all the rational reasons why this won't happen. I've thought of all of the rational reasons why if it did happen, it would still be okay. But you're not accepting it. Why are you not accepting it, brain? Why are you still triggering me, dude? This is facts that I'm speaking here. And then I was like, oh shit, I've got a brain to retrain. And that's the case for most people, and that's why the two main keys are just leave them alone. Just leave them alone. Stop stressing yourself out trying to figure these thoughts and feelings out. When these thoughts and feelings come, just remind yourself this is not the real you and live your life. That way you can demonstrate to the brain that all is well. And then once you become the real you, you'll understand what I was saying. You'll laugh at these thoughts. um, well, see, depersonalization and derealization kind of comes with getting high. I mean, in a way, right? Like that feeling of smoking the herb. For a lot of people, that feeling happens. But the thing is, a lot of people don't add second fear to it. So I'm not going to tell you one way or the other whether you should do that. That's really going to have to be up to you. All right, chat. We have broke that 1 hour mark, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I appreciate you guys coming out tonight. I appreciate you watching. Thank you for all that you do for me. Thank you for your love and support. Truly, it means a ton to me. And I will catch